Hi, I'm Julie Packard, and I'm here with Pottery Barn Kids talking about the Monterey Bay Aquarium. Well, I got involved with the creation of the Monterey Bay Aquarium with my big sister, who was a marine biologist, and she and some of her biology colleagues had the idea to share this amazing place with the public through creating an aquarium here in Cannery Row. And I got involved early on, and our father had a foundation that did charitable work, and we all kind of got fired up about this notion, and I guess the rest is history. Monterey Bay is, on a global scale, really a very important place, biologically speaking. There's a lot of very cold, very nutrient-rich water that comes up from the deep zone every year, and it makes for a huge array of marine life here in Monterey Bay. And so it's just a fabulous place for wildlife watching and a fabulous place for studying. Well, probably the exhibit here at the aquarium that is most iconic and familiar to people is our Kelp forest exhibit. People talk about it as sort of a cathedral-like experience with the light filtering down and these majestic kelp plants with all the marine life that lives there. And the algae in there, the seaweeds are just flourishing, and all the different animals that live with them. It's just a great looking exhibit. Another exhibit at the aquarium that has really sort of been a groundbreaking exhibit for us is all of our jellyfish exhibits. And kind of the iconic exhibit there is our big sea nettle tank. People are just mesmerized looking at these orange jellies with beautiful burgundy tentacles. The sea otter exhibit is certainly one of the faves at the Monterey Bay Aquarium, and one that we're really proud of because it's really so much more than an exhibit. They all were rescued pups that were orphaned and raised here at the aquarium, and they're kind of the emissaries for the public, and they each have their own great stories. When you look at people's concerns about the environment, they tend to be very land-based. And for years, people really subscribed to the notion that the oceans were so vast, nothing we could do could possibly affect them. They're just so huge. And so we'd dump all of our waste into them, and we'd harvest fish just, as fast as we could. And then, of course, coastal habitat conversion and all of the important bays and estuaries that we've turned into cities, to meet our growing needs, and that's really affected wildlife in a big way. And then finally, kind of closer to home and things we do every day, plastics are a huge issue in our oceans, and plastics have made our lives a lot better and a lot more convenient in a lot of ways, but they stick around in the environment a really long time, and there's huge amounts of plastic that are floating around in the oceans and harming wildlife. I think there are a few really easy things that people can do that will be making a difference. For people that are interested in getting involved in making sustainable seafood choices, they have two really easy options. One is to go to our website at montereybayaquarium.org and download a pocket guide to take with them. The other is to go on your iPhone and download our Seafood Watch iPhone app, which is free, and it's really great. And that way, wherever you are traveling around the country, you can look at the recommendations even for the region where you're dining. I actually developed my passion for the environment starting from a young age, and it was all about spending time outdoors with my parents. And I just think that's just absolutely the most important thing that families can do, not only to expose their kids to these very important issues that face, the future of humanity, but more important, just to give them the joy of being out in nature. There's so many kids that aren't exposed to any green space at all. They're not out in nature to really see its value. Our watersheds that provide our water, our atmosphere that lets us breathe, the healthy ocean that produces so much of our oxygen. These things enable life to exist. But I think for a child, the best value is just the joy and fun of discovering just wonderful things in nature. There's so much environmental bad news out there right now. I think that the important thing for parents is to, make sure that our kids remain optimistic and that we can celebrate the successes and make people feel like they're really making a difference. And on many of these issues, we really are. We're really excited about the opportunity to work with Pottery Barn Kids to get the message out to families about the ocean and the environment. And really, the most important thing is to keep learning going all your entire life, whether you're 2 or 80, and so that family time together and learning about how we all can play a role in the future of our oceans is absolutely important.